Hi, my name is Mahasin.
Hi, my name is Kijai.
And we're going to show you an easy recipe to make if you're on the South Beach diet. So first we have a piece of chicken here. You can do what you can do.
So as you can see, I'm going to start to dice the chicken in smaller rectangles. And then after we chop it along that way, we're going to turn it onto the other side and dice it into smaller squares so they can cook down easy on the pan. So after you dice your chicken, we're going to cut up some cilantro, as you can see Kijahi's doing, and then I'm going to start to season the chicken. And first I'm going to start off with Old Bay. There are no specific measurements, just season with your heart. Next, I'm going to season with some garlic powder. Garlic powder doesn't have any salt in it, so you can really put as much as you want. And then we're going to go in with some onion powder as well on top of that. After that, I'm going to drizzle some grapeseed oil on the chicken so it doesn't stick to the pan. And it just gives a nice coating with all of the seasonings. We want to make sure that the chicken has a nice seasoning, so it's okay to go back and add more seasonings, as you can see that I did, just to make sure that it is thoroughly seasoned. So Kijahi is pretty much done dicing up the cilantro really finely, and then we're going to start to add our chicken to the pan with a little bit more of the grapeseed oil, just to make sure that nothing sticks and to give the chicken some extra juices once the seasoning burns off in the oil. So then Kijahi is going to start to finely dice the onions, just how she did the cilantro, and you can see that here. Once your chicken is done cooking, we want to make sure it's cooked all the way through. We don't want any raw food. We're going to transfer all of the chicken to the plate and set it aside. Next, we're going to get started on our rice. In the pan, there are 2 tablespoons of water, and then I just added the pre-packaged rice. And then we're just going to steam it down so it can break apart. And then when we're done with that, we're going to set that aside as well. Next is the corn. We're going to put the corn in the pan. Nothing is in the pan, so it's just the corn by itself. And then we're going to grab all of the same seasonings that we use to season the chicken to season the corn with. Now I'm going to stir up the corn with all of the seasonings so the seasoning can be throughout all of the pieces of corn. On the side, me and Kijahi are going to start cutting up some lime and some avocado, and we're just slicing that into smaller triangles and diced up. Now we're gonna add the beans to the corn in the same pan, and then we're gonna season only on the bean side with the same seasonings that we used to season the corn and the chicken. Once the corn and the beans are done cooking, we're just going to scoop them out and put them on the same plate, and then set it to the side with our rice and our chicken. Now that all of our main course is done, I'm going to pour some chipotle peppers in a bowl and then take out the peppers. And then I'm going to leave the juice of those peppers in that same bowl. And then I'm going to add sour cream to make the sauce. So it's going to be a light, spicy sauce to go on top of our bowl. So as I put on the gloves, I'm going to grab a knife and start chopping up the chipotle peppers to get all of the juices out, as you can see here. Once I have all the juices out, or as much as I could get, I'm going to sit the thick chunks of peppers to the side, and then I'm going to scrape all of the sauce together in one spot and pour it into the rest of the bowl with the other sour cream and the chipotle sauce, and we're going to stir it up to add on top of our bowl. Now that we have everything done, we're going to start forming our bowl. So first we start off with the rice on one side. Next, we're going to add the beans and the corn right next to the rice. Now for the chicken in the pan, we're going to put that right next to the beans and the corn. So for avocados, we're going to chop them up a little bit finer, and then after I finish chopping, I'm going to add that right on top of our bowl. So here you can see I'm kind of mixing the onions and the cilantro together, and then after that I'm just gonna keep on topping it on top of a bowl, and then we're gonna squeeze a little lime to compare with the sour and savoriness of the bowl. Next, I'm just gonna drizzle a little sauce across the bowl on top of the other toppings. We're going to add a little bit of cheese to the side of our bowl as well. And here are our final results. And this recipe ended up making us 2 of our bowls. Hopefully this helps you on your journey during the South Beach diet.